Hello, this is Brenda Cardi. Oops. It's doing something there. My camera, phone, you know. We use it more for other things than calling. Might as well call it something else, right? The something else phone. Everything phone. There you go. Well, I'm here trying to make another tape. I just had an operation with my eyes, and I have to give my eyes easy, take it easy with my eyes, and it's a process, and that's why I'm wearing shades. If I'm in direct bright light, I wear shades, and if I'm not, I can stand the indoor light. The indoor light is okay. Like right here, it's okay. Indoor light is okay. Uh, but this is how operate. But because you have those areas. If you go to a grocery store, if you go anywhere, people go and they change your light bulbs, and it's much brighter, illuminating, and um, no more of the common light, you know. Um, well, it's weird when I get on film. I forget everything, just forget everything. But yes, I it's hard for me to stand uh, direct sunlight with my eyes because I'm supposed to protect them, and um, and also it's I didn't do the other eye. The other eye is still not good, so it needs to be done. Um, but the whole operation, it was just like quick, you know. Said it would be quick. I've seen number of operations online, and I've looked at the worst case, which would be uh, the sugar eye, the one with diabetes, and I having diabetes, I thought, I look at that and I'm the worst. You always put yourself in the worst case scenario, and and that's and I when I took it, the operation, she says I'm not even worried about that because that's not even my issue. The issue is just cataracts. Now maybe the diabetes may have contributed a little bit to it, but I've had this, uh, coming along, and so I have to get it done. My worst eye hasn't gotten done yet. I want to do my better eye first, because when I do take off my shades, which I'm going to do, is take off my shades because it's not as bright in here. Um, this eye I can tell there's blind, blind spot there, and it's hard. That's why you can't drive. If you're driving, you have that side. You have to look without turning. You don't turn your head and look, and still keep your hands on the wheel, because your eyes is not watching the road. It's now occupied on the side of you. And they say when you look toward that way, that's where the way you go. And so that's why I'm not um, doing that. I'm not driving yet, just yet. Not to say I'm excited about driving, tell you the truth. Driving is scary for me. It's always been scary for me to drive. It's you have other people there. Even riding a bike is scary. Excuse me, because there's wheels and there's people looking, and if you fall, people are looking. You don't know whether they'll just look at you and laugh, or they'll or to try to help you or whatever, you know. But you are totally embarrassed. You know, I don't. It's not something you want. You know, you don't want to be totally embarrassed. You know, you want to get on that bike and just ride wherever and come back. You don't want to be a show for anyone. I did put these things on my bike. My husband doesn't like it, but and of course my kids are like, oh, that's training wheels, but it's a stabilizer. It's a stabilizer because I'm having trouble balancing. I used to balance pretty well, but lately it seems to be hard to balance. Not because of the eyes, and I don't think the eyes had anything to do with it. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I used to balance pretty good, and all of a sudden, you know, it just seems like it's just harder to stay on one foot. But I still practice. I try to practice. We have this thing, and I'm upset because I can't find it. And I want to go out and buy another one because this one was pretty cheap. And the boys had it, and our little girl had it, you know, but more so the boys, and they were balancing on it and were playing tricks. And look, I can balance, you know, and said, ha ha ha, you know, you can balance. It's great. But I bought it mainly so I could balance, you know, and there's a trampoline, little trampoline, and I try to balance hopping on one foot there, and it's hard, you know, but I try. And also, you know, you try to do little things like that, but my husband believes it's because of my hearing, you know, because your inner ear, your hearing, if your hearing is off, then your balance is off. I don't know if he read this or heard it, or you know, or if, I don't know, but I think there's some logic to that, you know. Now, it's not to say I cannot hear, because I can hear. I can hear. I'm not going downhill. I'm not trying to go down here to Granny Land, or I'm not even a grandma yet. I like to be, but you know, I don't want to go down to the Blibium. I'm not saying that right, but I don't want to go downhill yet. I want to go swinging and fighting. You know, no, I'm not this, I'm not that. Of course, my hair is gray, and it's always been gray hairs in my head. Always, it's always had it since I was young. Since I believe when it was spotted when I was like 19. And it's something traumatizing that happened in my life at 19, other than I thought I would be an old maid. Because I've heard other people had boyfriends or in marriage or had kids, and I felt like, ooh, you know, I don't. It's not like there weren't other people like me who was the same age that didn't have the same, and a little bit older, didn't have those either. But they weren't calling themselves old maids. I was calling myself old maid. You know, maybe because of my mom. You know, my mom. You know, she would say, "Guess who had a baby? You know, you don't have a boyfriend yet." And it kind of weird on me because, yeah, no, not yet. I guess no one wants me. You know, and I just I felt like, my goodness, I'm 19. I don't have a relationship with anyone. I mean, I'm just gonna go as an old maid or something. I was just terrifying for me. Terrifying. It was just crushing. And of course, combing your hair. I've noticed great white hair, And my mom did too. She says, "What are you doing? White hair?" She says, "That's a sign of wisdom, you know." Really? I have wisdom? Really? You know, all the other people didn't. If I had a vote, other people would not say that about me. I've been called so many names because the way I don't think differently. I don't think the same as other people because I look at a picture, I look at something totally different. I try to analyze it. I don't say, yeah, I guarantee that's it. You got to get your facts. You got to get your facts. If you don't have your facts, then, you know, don't say it because of the color of your skin, and I thought that was ignorant. I said, I decided not to like this person because he's a different color than me. That's just didn't make any sense. They didn't hold up their hands. Like I remember that baby rule, hold up your hands. God would say, hold up your hands. Who wants to be white? And white people, the babies that wants to be white, they raise their hand and they say, yeah, I want to be white. And who wants to be black? And, raise their hand, want to be black, Chinese, and all that stuff. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault. The parents are not fault. They're in the image of God as the way God intended them to be. He did not intend them. If he didn't want them that way, it wouldn't be. It's no reason to dislike somebody because of the color of their skin. That's stupid. Even when white people hate black people or dislike black people because of the color of their skin, that's stupid. And the same goes for black people that don't like white people because of the color of their skin. That's stupid. So I didn't always think that way. It was just, if for me to say, well, I don't like this person, totally don't like this person, is their actions. And their actions. If their actions were terrible, then, it's quite natural you don't like their actions, okay? You don't like their actions. This person's actions is vulgar, it's wrong, and I don't like it. That's fine. You don't have to like a person's actions, but that doesn't mean that person is not a human being. The person is still a human being, regardless. And the thing about God separates our actions, our faults from us. He separates us. That's why when we come and repent of our sins, he doesn't count us toward our actions. Well, I would say that I would accept you, but you have this action over here that you've done, and it's a real bad stain, and it just stains you from coming into heaven. No. I mean, Jesus Christ took care of all that, he made a path for us to go. There were many, many prophets that went before coming. Of course, before we seen Jesus, but Jesus was always there from the beginning. But before Jesus appeared in flesh, we had many prophets and judges, and people ignored those. And he went to his people first, which were the Jews. And it still is his people. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed being his people. I mean, a lot of people might say, oh, look at the affliction that happened to me. I was persecuted for many, my people were. And God said, so if these people are doing this, then he would change. I think he did. Even though it was an announcement, it wasn't written in the Bible, because the Bible was completed, and it wasn't written in the Bible where God says, I changed my people and these are my people now. That's not written. It's still, the Jews are still his people. And a lot of people like the church wide open. The Bible cannot be the finished book. It's got to be another book, And that they search and they search, and probably people are still searching. But the Bible is finished, it's this completed book. basic instructions before leaving Earth. The Bible is the completed package. We to study and to read it. Of course, people look for, oh, I want to see the movie version. Or Hollywood tried to make so many versions of the Ten Commandments, and it made it like sound like a theater. Not to say I don't like the show, Ten Commandments, because I did. I did like the Heston guy. I forget. I forget. But it's not like I didn't like the show. But Moses had a problem speaking. He did. He had a problem speaking, and so he couldn't pronounce his. He couldn't. If you stutter a lot, much my father did, he stuttered, and you're trying to get a word out, and you can't, because it's just you keep repeating, and I don't want to mock a stutter person. That I don't. But he wasn't the worst stuttering. Mel Tillis, I think, he was a very big stutterer. He couldn't talk normal, but he could sing. When he sang, there was no stuttering in singing. So, but anyway, Moses could not speak properly, so he got his brother Aaron to speak. And then when the movie version, Charlton Heston, when he played it, he can speak perfectly, and he played Moses. And his brother was like the silent one. But the Bible said that Aaron spoke through Moses. Of course, Moses is a star, so Moses has to get that speech going. He has to be the one, since he's a star. It can't be Aaron, because Aaron wasn't the star of the people. Let my people go. He wasn't the star. So I'm going to give this position, this most of the speaking terms, to Charlton Heston, because he is the star. He's Moses. And this other guy, who's Aaron, he's just a brother, and he can make things, from gold, and, mold them. That's pretty much how it went, but that's not how the Bible describe it. We go with the Bible. What does the Bible say? And whenever you go with Hollywood likes to, whatever does not make sense to Hollywood have to make it make sense. It has to make sense to Hollywood. It has to make sense to people. But the Bible, sometimes when it comes off, it doesn't make sense. Well, how does that happen? It made it seem like, babies were just coming out just like that. It just made it seem like, where's the 9 months? It just seemed like, oh, she had this child, and then she had another child, and then she had another child. It's like, my goodness. I mean, a lot of women would have gotten pregnant more often if it was like that. Everybody said, yeah, I had all 10 of my kids already. Within a year. And I'm fine. But that's not how it. It just seemed that way when you're reading. Had a baby, and this one had a baby, and then she conceived again. She had a baby, and conceived again. She had a baby, and I'm like, my goodness, what were they on? It didn't take that long for them. I guess if they would have described the many months that she had kicks, or did she, month 1, month 2, month 3, we have to wait 9 months. And there is pain in childbirth. There is pain. And we feel that pain in childbirth. But God said there will be pain. So, Eve was let off easy. You can pretty much say she was let off easy, because the pain did not continue with us. We didn't have the baby and then continue to have pain. He just said we have pain in childbirth. I know every pregnancy is not the same. Some pregnancies have complications, and some pregnancies come and it's just like nothing. You know, it's like, was I pregnant? Huh? You experienced that? Huh? I ain't experienced any of that. Or, you know, just every pregnancy is different. I had different pregnancies for everyone. I had different, just different. It wasn't the same. And I've seen people with far worse pregnancies, and the first birth was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to have another one. Because if this is how it's going to be, I don't want to have another one. And the doctors are so quick to tell you that. They say, yeah, if you have another one, it's most likely you're going to have that one. So I'm just going to let you know. And you don't know. They don't predict the future. They don't predict the future. They don't say, they're not playing God's advocate. They don't know. They would like to be, I'm sure. Anybody would like that position for God has told me officially that this is how it's going to be. And I just want you to listen up because I got it right from him, But, every doctor is not, they're just letting you know there is warning signs that it could. Doesn't mean it will, but it could. It's a slight chance there that it could happen. It could, but it doesn't mean it will. But people will aim it to go, it's guaranteed. It will. No. Because every pregnancy, like I said, is different. And so women should just, if they want more, then they can have more. By the grace of God, then they have more. And if a guy doesn't want to have children at all, and you don't compromise yourself and settle with that, because the guy, he probably don't want to have any kids. And if you have one, and he might force you to abort the baby. And if a guy wants to have children and the girl does not want to have kids, and she just might go out there and abort the child. Because I don't want, or take birth control because I don't want any kids, And, those things should be discussed before falling for this person. Another thing that should be discussed, of course, which is overlooked, if everyone heard, as being a Christian, you don't want to be unevenly yoked. When you see a guy across the room and he sees you and you're beautiful and he's so handsome and you're attracted to him and he, you kind of, you're not even thinking about, is he a Christian or is she a Christian? You're not even thinking about that. You're thinking about, ooh, look at the looks. But of course, when I got this from Judge Judy, I was listening to a program which I think is so neat. I tell my kids, beauty is fleeting, dumb is forever. And it's true. Beauty is fleeting. And that guy in 20 years may not look as great. And that girl in 20 years might look as great. But again, you can't look at the looks and say, hey, this is the one, and you're dating for a while, and they're with the looks, and they look so and stuff like that. And you get into marriage, this person's not a Christian, you are. It's going to be some problems. So that's why, of course, God says don't be unevenly yoked. Because he doesn't want us having those problems, He doesn't want us having all these problems. And I'm looking at myself in the camera, and I'm looking, there's a shadow spot. I would get in the less shadow, but it just looks so weird. And I wonder if it appears that way on camera. I don't know. But, I'm a female. I care about the way I look. I do. I care about it. And there were many incidents when I came here when it was just, is she going to do anything with her hair? I mean, really? Is her hair going to be combed anytime? Is she going to cut the camera off and comb her hair because I am so sick and tired of looking at it. I, from time to time, I look at my uh, videos and I try to, I look at what I say, and I don't think I said anything that's offensive in my point of view. But it can be offensive to other people, and the way you look can be offensive to other people. So you try to fix that. My hair, I just like to wear it back. It's hot, guys. It's hot. It's hot here. You're roasting. The sun doesn't care. So you try your best, and you go out, and you want to make I don't make videos every day, but I want to. Oh, and I did say I was going to take off these glasses. I do have the light on, but it's not showing much light to me. But I want to be able to draw a picture without my glasses. Yay! Without my glasses. Because it was increasingly hard to draw pictures without my specs, Even when I put it big, I still had to put it big for my specs because it just wasn't enough. My eyes just wasn't putting out enough because of the cataract. So I'm hoping that this other eye will be fixed, God, grace of God, and that I can have you both use my eyes. But this one, like I said, is healing. It's in a healing process. I can't take direct light. I can't do direct light thing, They just said for my well-being, don't do direct light thing. And I'm trying my best not to do direct light. So outside, normally I don't wear shades. My husband bought me what seems like a million pair of shades, but of course about 2 or 3 shades I got, and I didn't wear them, I wore them probably maybe for a minute, and then I took it off and said, it's just uncomfortable. But we gotta protect our eyes in the sun, we gotta protect it, we gotta do it. And from this operation, it helps me to just go ahead and practice that, to protect my eyes. And these shades make it hot, make it very hot for me under here. I sweat. You don't see the sweat, but it makes me sweat here. And I'm going to close the shade because the shade is just, seeing, and hopefully it's enough light. If it is enough light, then I can draw a picture. And if it's not, then, I just had this moment with everyone. I'll still try to draw a picture anyway. But I'm just going to go ahead and try to put on this, to close this blind.